Well, good morning, Berkeley. It is indeed more of a pleasure for me to stand here in front of you, especially the graduates and your family. I've been in love with Berkeley for a long, long time. As a matter of fact, I've reminded about maybe 4 or 5 of my friends who congratulated me on being here, but they spelled Berkeley with Berklee. And I have to remind them that this is Berkeley, Boston, not Berkeley, California. Not saying anything negative about Berkeley, California, but this is Berkeley, Massachusetts, and Boston. I'm very elated to be here. I got a call from President Muir, not a call, but an email, and I was so shocked. It was early in the morning, and I woke my wife up, and I said, I just got a letter, an email from the president of Berklee College. And she woke up and she said, it must be something important. And I said, well, it certainly is. I didn't really read it right away. I went and did some home chores that I had to do. And then I got a call from Steve Bailey, who's the bass chair here. And he asked me if I had read the email. And I said, not yet, I'm getting ready to. He said, good, because that gives him an opportunity to tell me what it was all about. And I was just so elated. I walked around the house like a Cheshire cat, grinning, walking like George Jefferson. I've had a wonderful career, And one thing I can say about my career that I would like to tell everybody that's listening is that I'm a musician, and nature and music has been a part of my life from the very beginning. I feel very special that I can remember back to when I was about the age of my granddaughter. And I can remember the love and attention I got from my grandmother and my mother and my 9 aunts, actually 10, with a lot of love. And I still feel that love from my grandmothers and my aunts. My life as a musician, I've played many instruments, but I ended up being a bass player. And I'm very proud of that because the bass is the bottom. It ain't a chord until I play. Along with being a musician, I always like to say, whenever I possibly can, that love, kindness, and gratitude have been a major part of my career in playing the instrument in organized music. Now, it's kind of hard to love, have energy and gratitude outside of your profession or what you do. But inside of playing music, I always had a lot of love for what I was doing, for my responsibility. I also had a lot of gratitude from people who appreciated me without telling me. You can always know when someone appreciates you. They don't have to tell you. Sometimes the ego wants to hear a lot of thanks and appreciation. But I learned how to get along with my ego a long, long time ago, thanks to my mother and my father. You know, the ego, thank you. The ego is something like your heart and your brain. It's almost like an organ, if you can look at it that way. You have to get along with it. You have to challenge it. You have to channel it. And you have to also let the ego understand that you are in charge, not the ego. Because the music industry is a business. It's a business. Although, once you leave here, when you get out into the world, you've already experienced politics and socialism. It's the same thing once you leave here, except it's a little different. Now, what the difference is, I cannot word describe right now. You will find out that there are a lot of trials and tribulations you're going to have to go through in order to be successful. But as long as you love what you're doing, and when I say what I'm doing, I'm almost wanting to draw a tear, but I cried enough last night, by the way. But the thinking about you have to love what you do. And a lot of the trials and tribulations are going to go over your head if you just love what you're doing professionally. And that's why you're here, to go out into the professional world and to do well with a lot of love and gratitude. A lot of people do not know how to say thank you, but they do say it. They can say it in their eyes. They can say it in appreciation as a musician when they hire you again. You know that they're thanking you for what you did before. But always be aware that you never can really know why you're hired and why you're not hired. It's a little bit different, but it's very personal. What happens to one person does not have to happen to another one in the same situation. But as long as you love what you're doing, the universe, you can say God, you can say whatever it is that controls your destiny. If you love what you're doing, you're going to be appreciated and be taken care of, even though it doesn't look like it at that time. During my life and during my career, I've run into so many situations where I thought it was the end for me. I'm a cancer survivor. I'm a stroke survivor. And a lot of that survival was because of my family. You know, I love them as my partners. A lot of love. I love you all, and I'm so glad that you're here. You're supporting me, and I do feel it. Even the little baby, although she's ignoring me, this is Grandpa. But love is very important, and gratitude. A lot of times you don't have to say thank you, but just by your personality and by your character, the person that you're thanking knows that they've been thanked. You know, I mean, they know that. They can feel it. So you don't have to be an English major. You don't have to go out of your way. Sometimes you can. But you have to understand that you're born, like all of us, everybody's born, but we're all different. We all have a different fingerprint. But we're still people. We all walk and we laugh, we talk, but we do it a little differently. So we are worthy of anything that we're trying to do. My profession is very, very difficult in a way because you have to understand the social side of why you're there and the political side of why you're there. And it's not easy. I am a good learner, but I had to learn a lot of things the hard way, only for a moment, only for a minute. It doesn't take you forever to find out that you can't sing. It doesn't take you forever to find out that you're not as good at what you think you're doing. It shouldn't take forever. And it doesn't if you and your ego have a little conversation, you know. I want to also say, before I leave here, that prayer is very, very important. I always remember my grandmothers praying, my aunts praying for everybody other than themselves. I also want to add to prayer is that being still sometimes is just as important as praying. If you're always asking for something, you're not receiving what's coming in. And I go that way with meditation. And just being still for a second, not being so busy. We have to be still sometimes to let whatever it is you want to call it come in. And it helps everything. Everything. It helps you go by the hard times. It helps you realize good times and hard times. On Monday, things may work, but the same thing may not work on Tuesday or Wednesday. You know, life changes. You know, I have had many experiences, and I'm old enough to say this, and not that it has to happen to you the way it happens for me, but basically we're all the same. You know, to be still, and also do pray. Prayer is very important. I've come along this way in my music career by listening to nature, the sound of the rain, the pitter-patter of the rain, the wind blowing, the leaves rustling. It gives me a rhythm idea. It gives me, I'm just in tune with, I've always been that way, by the way. I don't like to brag on it, but as a baby, I came up listening to the rain, the leaves, the wind, smelling things. that just influenced me to do whatever it is I was doing as a musician. As a bass player, you know, I tell you, the next time it rains, just be still for a second and listen to the rain hitting things. There's a bass line there. Or if you play a horn, there's something there. A lot of times it's very, very hard to be alone. I've never had that experience. I've never been alone, never. Although maybe alone from people. I remember when I was very, very young and I had pneumonia and I was in the infirmary or in the hospital, and I don't remember seeing, I don't remember at all my mother or my father or any relatives coming to see me, but I remember the smells that I smelled through the window, the sound of the rain and the wind, the thunder, the lightning, kept me very, very comfortable. So I brag about that, in that I've never been alone. Someone has always been with me, or something has always been with me. And I do love what I do. As time has gone by, I don't do as much of it as I used to do, because I'm just airplaned out, hoteled out. This is the Four Seasons. But I've come to a place in my life to where I can look back and appreciate so much of my life and my career. This particular honor, I really am elated to get from such a prestigious school that's worldwide known. You know, a lot of people, when you say Berklee, they immediately set up. My business partner is an alumni here, and when I knew that he came from this institution, I knew that at least we were going to be good friends on the social side. But it's very, very important to realize where you come from. You come from Berklee. And when you go out into your profession, think about Berklee, where you came from. Give back when and if you can. It's very, very important, you know, to go back to where you came from. And you came from Berklee. And I congratulate you on taking, well, however long it's spent for you to go through and get your degree, but congratulations to this class. I congratulate you. I want to thank the provost. I want to thank President Muir. And I want to thank, I don't know what to call, but I want to thank you all. You know, I want to thank you all. She's saying all these wonderful things about me, and I'm sitting there for a hot minute. I'm going, is she talking about me? And I know that she is, but my love for what I have done for the last 60-some years has all been immersed in love for what I do, for love for what I do. I want to thank everybody again. Before I go, though, your father was very important to me. And I have done many recordings with him, and I love him dearly. His musicianship was impeccable, never wrong. Now, when you get into this business, you find very few people that are never wrong. He was never wrong, even if you disagree with him. He was a piano player, singer, and several times he would come behind me and put his arms around me and put his hands on the bass and say, Chuck, when you get here, look at it like this. Because if he hadn't done that, I would have had a problem. But I don't mind having problems when I work with people like him. And it's such an honor, more of an honor, to receive this prestigious degree with you. You know. I thank you all so very, very kindly, and in borrowing a phrase from one of my dearest friends, David T. Walker, I wish you all to press on with a smile and enjoy yourself. You're supposed to have fun in what you're going to do. enjoy it. Thank you very much.